Good evening, everybody. That is not Jim Quinn. Tony Surace here, pinch hitting for Jim. The great Phillies fan that he is, he needed a pinch hitter. Happy to be here, and especially happy to be here with McKenzie, Shannon, Summers. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Big Dog Project. But before we do, I had asked McKenzie if I could say a couple words about her dad. I'll try to get through this too. Very, very special to me. Played on my first team as a head coach, and as crazy as he did not drive me nuts. It was really easy to coach, and a great gifted athlete. And when we nominated him for the Hall of Fame, and he went in as a contributor, we'll talk about that in a minute. But as an athlete, one of the best athletes ever to come out of Millville. And I've been here 55 years, so I've seen a lot of them come and go, and he's right there with all the best. And in addition to that, just a wonderful human being, and obviously gone far too soon. And in regard to the Thunderbolt Club, as we talked off the air, without he and, of course, Steve Young as the linchpins to put that project together, and hundreds, and I mean hundreds, of guys working with their hands, and ladies too, to lay the concrete and put the tables in and do all the work they've done. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't been to the Thunderbolt Club, you're missing a really special opportunity. Not here to talk about the Thunderbolt Club. We're here to talk about the Big Dog and the project that you've initiated. How many years?
So this is going to be our third year.
Third year.
Yep.
Yeah, I know it's been a couple of years.
Yep.
And before we get into that, though, we have your family here.
We do, yes.
Which I'm excited about. Come on up, kids. Come on up, Jim.
Come up and say hi.
Say hi to everybody. Two special kids. Come on, Norma. Come on up. You'll be on television. Everybody will see you. Grandma will see you. Come on up.
So we have Nora. And we have RJ back here. And my husband.
And
say hi, guys.
Say hi. Say hi. I'm sure your grandmom's watching.
Is Gigi out there watching? Say hi, Gigi.
Sure she is.
Want to say hi to her? Atta girl, atta guy. And they're all involved in the project as well.
Oh,
very much so. They've got their shirts on.
Yep, they're at every event with me. They're volunteering. They're supporting. They're spreading the word. So, yeah, they are very much involved. It is very much a family project.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, thanks for coming.
All right. Of course.
We're going to talk to Mommy about the project now. Is that okay?
All right.
All right.
We'll watch Mama talk, all right? Come on.
You have a beautiful family.
Thank you.
And you know, the Shannon legacy goes deep in Millville.
Yes.
There's not too many people that don't know the whole family, the extended family, and what a beautiful, family it is that you grew up in.
Very lucky.
Let's divert for another second. Talk a little bit about your career at Millville High School.
Yeah.
I know you play sports.
Yep, I did. 4 years field hockey, 4 years softball. Absolutely loved it. I got to spend so much time with my dad because of it. He was my softball coach growing up. So, for him, there was dad, but he was also coach. So, the way that he touched so many different athletes, I did get to experience that differently, obviously. Being my dad was definitely a little bit different, but, still so many of my core memories, so much of what I do now is because of what he ingrained into me.
Sure, sure, exactly. So. And you get to experience it with your kids, even though they're younger, as they grow up, and they'll get involved as well. But I know how much softball meant to your dad. Obviously, you were playing, but what a great opportunity for him to be with you and share that with you, as well as all the other girls.
Absolutely.
And a great job he did with all the, I think he started the traveling team.
Yep, we started the Tidal Wave.
What was the name of it? Tidal Wave.
Yep, and it's still going today, which is, so fun to see, see that evolve, from where we started, to where that is today. And again, it's this idea that he is continuously touching lives, even long after he's gone.
Yes. Well, that's the Shannon way, that's what he did. That's what, your mom's been involved. It's been a wonderful experience for everyone. So we're here to talk about the Big Dog.
Yep.
And I think affectionately, that's what your dad was called.
Yeah.
the big dog.
Yep. And, he was known to so many as, the big dog. So it was very fitting, to kind of take that, that love that everybody had for him and bring it into this project.
Yes. And I know we talked that the project's 3 years old now.
Yep, 3 years. This is our third annual bag event. So it's very exciting that we've been able to do this 3 consecutive years.
Well, talk a little bit about it and how, we get into how people can help and donations, and what a wonderful subject, I'll say, to help battling cancer myself. So many people are battling cancer, and so many people, when I go up for my infusions and my shots, I see so many people in much worse shape than I am, and people that really need help and need support. And that's what this project is all about.
Essentially, the Big Dog Project, it's a Pay It Forward initiative project. It started with our flagship program, which was the Big Dog Bags. The idea is really truly encompassing what Dad stood for in the idea of paying it forward, trying to touch as many people as possible, not just one area of person. And from there, we've been able to not only do these cancer bags, but we'll be doing our 3rd year of scholarships out at the high school. So we do also sponsor 2 scholarships. So that's really exciting. And what's nice is those ones are for students that are spending their time volunteering. So we're not doing the traditional athlete, the traditional, things that Dad may have done in the past. We're taking what he may have done, and we're really trying to support the kids that, may have gone under the radar, that are truly just trying to do better for their community and supporting them as well. So that's been really fun. We're working towards a lot of other community activities. We're actually going to be at the Mental Health Day at Lakeside. So that's the other part of our project, is taking the idea of paying it forward, taking the idea of, free acts of kindness, teaching it to our kids to make sure that they are kind of really encompassing it in their daily life, to be able to bring that back home and do just good, And this is my project, and the idea is that we'll help fund other projects in the future as well.
Oh, that's terrific. Talk for a moment just about the scholarship. Is it called the Big Dog Scholarship?
So there are 2 different scholarships. We have the Big Dog Scholarship, and then I believe it's the Pay It Forward Scholarship. Don't quote me on those. I'll be honest, Amy named them. So when they were set up, Amy definitely had a lot of, hand in that. So that was, again, one of the ways that it's truly a family, project that so many of us are working so hard behind the scenes to, really bring this to life daily. But yeah, it's wonderful. And we're really hoping to continue to grow our scholarship program, to continue to support not only more students at Millville, but to be able to go all around the county as well.
Oh, that'd be great. And that's the idea of playing it forward, that you get young folks involved in understanding how it's all of our responsibility to try to play it forward. We're not doctors, most of us.
Right.
And so our little bit is just contributing in some way. Yeah, every little bit helps.
Every little bit counts.
When I go up for my treatments at Cooper, they're just constantly handing me bags and things, and most of them I don't really need after being up there so much. But it's nice that they're doing that for all the patients and getting the young people involved. That's wonderful. I didn't really realize that there was, scholarships involved. That's terrific.
And that's the great thing about the project is, we are doing so much. We do have so much in store. Right now, we're mainly known for, the cancer bags. So that's been kind of this year's goal, is to really kind of get the word out of all of these other amazing things that we are doing, that we are working towards. And it is about really teaching the kids about putting it into practice. So one of the things that we have prepared for the year is we actually have cards for kids to decorate. So they actually go into our bags. Right. So they come blank. The kids have actually already decorated a few for example, but they are just like thinking of you, get well soon. And then it does kind of inside explain that they are, teaching kids how to pay it forward, the importance of kindness, the importance of, volunteering, and, all of the health benefits that come along with that as well.
Yeah.
So it's also putting it into practice and really kind of, solidifying.
And having gone through that, I can tell you that, excuse me, they may seem meaningless, that they're just cards, but they do inspire. They do make people feel, feel good.
Yeah.
Especially those that have very few people
Right.
caring about them.
On our last bag drop last year at Monmouth Medical, we actually, in our thank you card back, we found out that the bag was actually presented to one of the patients. It was her first day in treatment. So she was actually very nervous, very scared. It was her first day there. And on her first day, just so happened to be our bag drop. So she was able to receive, and that was that picture right there you're seeing is last year at Monmouth Medical.
Yeah.
So she received this care package on her very first day there. So it really helped, let her know that she wasn't alone, and she was so grateful and so thankful. And, knowing that we're there to support people is what our goal is, to let them know that they're not alone. There are people out there that care.
Well, as those of us that battle it, like your dad, it's an insidious disease that, I'm alive today because they came up with a new drug that I'm day to day, but I'm doing okay today. So without that drug from a couple of years ago, so research is obviously all part of it, but keeping the patients attitude positive, that's
half the battle.
That's half the battle.
That's half the battle. Yep. The mental side of it, the mental fight, and these bags are also not just designed for the patient, but they are designed for the caretaker as well. So everything that we've put into the bag does come from personal experience, from suggestions from other patients, but a lot of this was. It came to me when I was spending all of my time up at the hospital. I mean, we were there for 3 weeks straight, hours and hours and hours on end, just spending time with Dad, waiting for answers. And, it was hard to remember to, pack the water bottle, to pack the, to pack the notebooks, to pack this, to pack that. And, it got tiring after a while to have to remember to bring all of that. So the idea was, we're going to build this bag where it has everything you would need while you're there. So it's got coloring books, it's got notebooks, it's got journals, it's got cards, it's got self-care. It really does try to hit, all of the different areas, as well as being able to be there for not only the patient, but caretakers as well, to really support the entire family. Because again, without the support team, the patient, doesn't have as much support.
No, absolutely. No, very, very important. Go back to the scholarships for a second. So we'll talk about how people can donate and bring in supplies and things. I assume that, the scholarship winner isn't getting a bag, they're getting money.
Yeah.
So how can they donate to that? How does that operate?
Yeah, so we are a registered 501c3 nonprofit. We made sure to do that right away because if you know Dad, if he's going to do anything, we're doing it right. So that's what we made sure to do. You can go right to thebigdogproject.com, and there you can either shop the wish list for the physical items, or if you do want to do like a monetary donation, you can go right to up the top where it says donate and donate right through there.
And go right through there.
Yep.
And it can go just to scholarships or to both?
Yep. You can put it right towards scholarships. It can go right towards the bags. It can just go towards like the general operating costs. There's so many different things that it could be designated towards.
That's great.
Yeah.
Give that website again.
Yeah. So it's www.thebigdogproject.com. Yep.
Perfect. So, encourage everybody out there to, in some small way, I can't imagine there are very many people, if any, that haven't been touched somehow in cancer.
Right.
In their family, hopefully not them personally, but so many people. I mean, I'm just, every day, Jim Quinn and I talk about it all the time as he's battling through another bout with cancer. That it just affects so many people.
So many people. It doesn't discriminate, age, race, gender. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're rich or you're poor. It really affects, and it affects the whole family too. It's not just, just the person. And, we saw the effects of it. And, we only had 3 weeks of, of time. And I know how much it impacted me just in those 3 weeks of time.
Yes.
So I can't imagine, the people that are actually going for your infusions, your treatments, and that was kind of why it kind of became so important for me. I couldn't be there for Dad's battle, but this is my promise to be there for yours.
Yes.
I was ready. To stand next to him, do whatever needed to be done.
There's no doubt he's
didn't get that chance,
very
but
proud.
We're going to do it anyway.
Well, he's very proud of you and the project and what you're, what you're all about and what you're doing. And so that's the way to donate. There's the on the screen now, thanking people for helping others. just a wonderful cause, and just knowing your dad the way I did, he's elated that you're doing this type of thing. Unfortunately, again, he's not with us, but he's with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've spent a lot of time kind of reflecting on it, and I think about all of the gifts by him leaving us too soon. All of the gifts that we were given, this would have never happened if he was still here. We would have never started this project. We would have never been able to touch the new lives, the new reach, and that's the thing, is it's not just about Millville. It's not just about Cumberland County. We are trying to reach as many people as possible, and really kind of just spread the love and spread, letting people know that they're not alone. People do care, and, we will continue to fight through and do good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, the bag day at the Thunderbolt Club. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. I would love to. So on Saturday, the 17th of May, we will be having it is our third annual bag stuffing day. So it's the day that all of the donations that do come in from the wish list, that I bring them to the Thunderbolt Club. We all get together and we start stuffing all of these bags. So this way they are ready to go for the drop. Our drop will be the week after or 2 weeks after. They'll come completely ready to go and head right to the facility. And I'm excited that this year they will be going to Inspira in Vineland. So this way it really is a local drop this year. So I'm so excited that Inspira did agree to partner with us. So come on out on the 17th from 4 to 6. If you have donations that you want to bring, you can still bring them that day. We'll be we take donations throughout the entire year. So it's not just because our bag event is on the 17th. These are bags that we supply to our community throughout the entire year. Last year, we donated between our 2 bag drops and throughout our community over 100 bags. Wow. And that was all due to all of the donations, all of the support, and donations continuously coming in throughout the year. That's kind of really what helps us, to keep going. So from 4 to 6 on the 17th, we'll be together at the Thunderbolt Club, putting all the bags together. We have music, we laugh, we joke, we break things, not of the Thunderbolt clubs.
Not the club.
Ash Joey Dorella, we broke quite a few cups last year, hence why we got a new design for the cup this year. We had a lot of sticking cups last year, but we're learning from our mistakes as well. We're growing, and it's just been a lot of fun to really connect back with the community and kind of really make these bags and have it evolve.
And make people and their families feel comfortable through it all. And again, if I know I'm not available on the 17th, but if anyone's not available, they can still donate in any way, shape, or form. And it's important to do that. Well, I get the signal from George. We're going to take a brief break, and I'll be back with Mackenzie Shannon Summers in a few minutes. Thank you.
Many people treat their health like a game. With Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Just select from our specialties and schedule online, by phone, or on our app. Our entire team communicates with one another, so everyone works together on your total health. Plus, we make it even easier with all of these additional benefits. Level up your health with us. Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great health care for everyone.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
Hello, my name is Craig Atkinson, and I am president of the Millville Thunderbolt Club. The mission of the Thunderbolt Club is to enhance the athletic experience of Millville High School student athletes. We provide a myriad of services for these athletes, including end-of-year recognition banquets for all teams, stipends for teams and individual athletes, college scholarships of $35,000 per year, meals for special events, as well as hosting the Mike Trout Millville Thunderbolt Club Golf Tournament and the Millville Sports Hall of Fame. Please visit our website at millvillethunderboltclub.com for additional information.
Welcome back, everyone, to Around South Jersey with Jim Quinn. Jim's probably enjoying a ball game tonight, so I'm pinch hitting for him and happy to do so with McKenzie, Shannon, Summers, and talk about the Big Dog Project, which is so important to her and her family, and doing a lot of this God's work for people that really need it, and talking about the way you can donate. And George, can you put it back up there on the screen? Because we want to get as many people that might tune in to know how they can donate. If you can't make it on the 17th, then the Big Dog website, www.thebigdogproject.com, and scan that, and you can put a wish list in or go to their website. So it'd be very much appreciated, I know, by the project to get as many donations as they can. And it was 100 bags?
Yep. So this year's goal is 100 bags. Yep.
So a worthy goal, and it helps people throughout South Jersey. I don't know if I said this on the air. I know I mentioned it to you, but when I was getting my infusions and I walk in the hospital, they hand me a bag. Not a bag is filled with this, but, mostly just treats and things, but because I wasn't staying overnight at that time. So, but it's much appreciated that somebody went to the effort to put all that together, and your team are doing it all together. Yeah. Did you want to mention anybody that specifically is helping?
So we've had so many amazing volunteers. Obviously, my family has done, a lot to support. But just this community from day one. I mean, you can see this was from our first annual bag event. There you go. So we've got many amazing, people from our community. Joe Dorella has been one of my biggest supporters. He's made sure he's been at all of the events. So obviously I really appreciate that. My best friend Cody has been one of the biggest supporters, is always there, for me. All of my crazy ideas, I bounce off of her, at 4 a.m. when we're both awake with our kids, just trying to come up with any ideas that we can, just to get our name out there, other ways, that we can support the community as well. So it's been a lot of fun. And like I said, I've also been able to reconnect with so many people from this community, just from this project, just because of the connections that they've had with my dad.
Right.
So that, that has also been so rewarding for me, just to be able to reconnect with the community that raised me.
Yeah. And I know that, like any organization or projects, you need as many volunteers as you can get, because it all goes to obviously a worthy cause, but they can feel part of giving back.
Yes, absolutely. And that's really what it's about. It's not just about for me. It's not, for me to stay busy. It's really to inspire other people, to really get everybody involved. There's also just so many mental health benefits to volunteering, to paying it forward, to, acts of kindness. So, really to try to catapult that and to inspire, get your body moving. Volunteering is great for your physical health too. There's so many benefits. I could go on for hours and hours and hours, but that's kind of the point, that we want to kind of create that full project. Like, it's not just one piece of it. You can volunteer with us, you can donate with us, you can get involved with us, as well as other ways, other parts of the community as well. Because again, Dad, was so inspiring to so many parts of the community, whether it was the arts, the sports, the town, right. So we want to make sure that we're doing the same. Yeah, exactly. And they can
volunteer by getting on the website?
Yep, absolutely. Right at the top of the website. So if you go to www.thebigdogproject.com, you'll see our landing page. And right at the top, you'll see all of the different options for donate, support, volunteer. You can also become a sponsor. So any businesses out there, if your business wants to sponsor us, whether it's sponsoring a product with us or as well of just like a general sponsorship, we have that options as well. We're trying to connect with as many different businesses. We've had so many businesses already, work with us. So that's been really fun. Again, just connecting with the community and really making this a community project.
Right, exactly. And so shout out to all you businesses out there that maybe haven't heard about the Big Dog Project or would like to get involved. If you've had, again, family member, friend that's been involved with, unfortunately, with cancer, great opportunity for you to get involved and sponsor. And I'm sure, as all organizations, small donation, big donation.
Yep. It all counts. It all counts. And it all really, we really do work hard to make sure that every dollar goes as far as possible, so that's been, my biggest goal as well, to really make sure that we are maximizing what we can do so that way our reach is as big as possible.
You mentioned, earlier, a few minutes ago, about the mental health aspect, and I know how important it is to stay positive if you're going through the treatments and things. But then you mentioned earlier in the first segment that you're doing some things with the mental health aspect.
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit.
So I did get invited to the Lakeside Mental Health Day, so I'm so excited for that. It'll be really my first event out into the community with the kids, other than the bag event. But it really is just talking about the importance of volunteering, how it does impact your health, how it really can, give you those endorphins. It really does make you happy, healthy. Like I said, the physical aspect of it, depending on where you're volunteering, you could be lifting heavy things, which again is that physical, that physical activity, as well as just the social connection. You're getting out there, you're connecting with people, you're connecting with other volunteers. So again, it's creating that community, that close-knit bond. And I mean, for me, it was so important, this project really was stemmed out of losing my dad. So it was out of my own grief, my own mental health journey, of dealing with this new season of life. I still have 2 babies to raise, and, I had to be, healthy for them. So, this project also gave me an outlet, to stay connected, to stay involved, to stay busy, to stay active. It's allowed me to make sure that they are starting to learn the importance of, being kind and having empathy. And, there's so many studies out there that show, the kindness, the empathy, and what it does to our emotional intelligence, and, how important that is with our youth today, and being able to, handle emotional situations. It's, it's that big snowball effect of how important volunteering really is. And this is a way that if you don't really have an organization that you are, into yet, you can come volunteer with us. And that's the great thing, is we are, one of the things that we're working towards this year is creating our volunteer army. So this way, if there are other organizations or, smaller groups that need groups of volunteers, we will have, our Big Dog Project, army of volunteers that, we could send out our blast to, of like, hey, this organization in Millville, around the county, wherever it may be, needs help. So that's kind of the goal, is just to really, again, that's why it's a project. It's not just one thing.
Right. Exactly.
And, that really has been why it's a little bit of that struggle of explaining, what it is, because it really is so complex.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's because I do understand that everybody needs a little bit something different. And this allows you to be able to give however you're capable of giving. If it's monetary, you can donate monetary. If it's time, you can donate your time. If it's, whatever it may be, this kind of gives you that flexibility.
That's just so great, Amy. That's so great, McKenzie. I ran into one of my former players, and we had breakfast, and he said one of the things that stuck with him that I've always preached as a coach: be a giver, not a taker. And this is an example of giving, and hopefully giving of yourself, because you believe in what's going on.
Absolutely.
And you believe in the community, and that's how the communities get stronger.
Yep.
And how the support group kind of helps one another.
Absolutely.
And to get through all this. And I'm sure that I mean, I'm sure there are days you and your family are still grieving over the
Absolutely.
loss of your dad, but what a great way to keep his image and his personality
Yeah.
and everything. I mean,
Yeah.
big dog is
Yeah.
him, and it's just a wonderful project that you've undertaken.
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun. I mean, a lot of challenges, I'm up a lot of nights, sleepless nights trying to think of, new and creative ways, to, market, to reach out, to connect with new people, stepping out of my comfort zone of, cold calling, not my forte, but, doing those things. But, just because I want to, make sure that we're making as big of an impact as possible, trying to reach as many people as possible, inspire as many people as possible, because that's the thing is it's not about, you don't have to actually really even get involved with us. Just get involved. Just get involved. If it's another organization that is, speaking to your heart, that's calling to you, just get involved. That's really what's so important. Be involved, stay active, volunteer, do what you can, and continue to spread kindness.
Well, that's your dad.
Yeah.
That's your dad, 100%.
Yeah.
I think that, you've grown this project for 3 years
Yeah.
now. This will be the third year, and it's grown every year.
Yep.
I'm sure you have more volunteers
Yes.
now. You have more donations now, and you'll continue to work and give back to the community and support people. Not only, when I say community, the broad community,
Yes.
as much as you can. Where were some of the other places that you donated bags?
So our very first bag drop did go to Cooper up in Camden. So that was our first year. We did about 75 bags that year. So that was, very scary because it was the very first time. It was a learning curve, but it was so nice. Our second year went to...
I'm going to interrupt you real quick. Did you deliver the bags to the patients, or were they delivered
So
by
those ones were delivered up to the floor. We were able to kind of see the patients. The patients saw us bringing them in, but due to like privacy and things like that, they didn't want us to go to individual people. But they did get to see them coming in, so that was really cool. And then our second year went up to Monmouth Medical. So we were actually greeted by the cancer services team when we were there. Again, due to patient privacy, we couldn't go back to the treatment floor. But that was really nice. The entire team came out. I was able to, talk about Dad, talk about the project. They took back 50 bags that drop. So that was really nice. That's where we had our patient that it was her very first day of treatment. She received the bag. And again, just letting her know that she's not alone on her journey, because again, not everybody has the same support system as somebody else. I think about, Dad and all of the people that he would have had, to support him. Not everybody has that, not everybody has, the people in their corner. Or even the funds in their corner, So this is, a way to kind of support them and let them know that even strangers, are thinking about you and care about your journey, care about your mental health on this journey. And then last year we actually did 2 official bag drops. So we actually sent 18 pediatric bags down to the University of Florida down in Gainesville. So we made sure we contacted that facility, made sure that how many patients that they had. They only have 18 beds. They had 16 patients, so we sent 18 down just in case if 2 more patients came in by the time they arrived. So we were able to supply a bag for all of their patients down in an entire unit down in Florida.
And that's kind of a different type of bag?
So it includes a lot of the same things, but we'll throw in extra coloring books, extra journals. We'll try to include both kid coloring books as well as adult coloring books. We'll make sure that there's journals for the parents to journal in as well as the kids. So it'll just be a little bit more beefed up. So that way it really does support both parent and, child.
Right. Well, I'll tell you that pediatric cancer is a whole other issue to be concerned about. And that's wonderful that you were able to reach out to them as well.
Yeah.
So any other drops that you...
So this year we just have, as of now, we have our official bag drop at Inspira. So that will happen right at the end of May after our bag event. And we always try to leave it open for a potential another bag drop at the end of the year. As of now, we are only doing like 1 official bag drop, but these bags are also available on the website for you to be able to send, to a patient. So on the website under the donate, there will be an option for a care package donation. So for any amount of a donation, you can send it to a person anywhere. There is, if you decide to ship it, there is a shipping charge. Obviously, we need to help, everything costs money, so we need to obviously make sure that we are covering that shipping charge. But like I said, the donation to get the bag could be any amount to get the bag. It doesn't have to technically cover the cost of the bag. Then we'll assemble it and ship it off. So there is that option on there as well. We also do have a bag pickup option. So if you are local to Millville and you want to do a bag pickup, as well, if you have somebody that you would like to get a bag to, we have that option as well. Again, we just want to try to make sure that we are always available, for anybody in the community. We have donated, countless and countless bags to just individuals around Millville, around the county that are undergoing, cancer treatment. And the thing is, what is so great about it is it really is any medical condition. If you are spending time, in a treatment center for any kind, this bag works for you. It's got some self-care. We, things in there like lip balm. We have hand sanitizer. We have lotion. This year I've included some like face wipes just to help kind of keep you clean when you're sitting in those rooms all day. Right. Some eye masks. Hey, got to still look good, right? We have coloring books. We make sure that we included the coloring pencils to go with that. We have different journals. This year, one of the new additions that I did add was like an undated planner. So this way, if you need to like mark down like treatment schedules and everything, again, everything was built around experience. We have the extra notebooks in there. So this way, if you want to do journaling for mental health, but also journaling of doctor's notes, you have options for that. That was so key for us when we were, up at Cooper with Dad. They only allowed 2 people in. There was usually 3 of us up there, right. So one of us was usually always down, in the cafeteria, down, at Starbucks doing something. So, doctors come in, you need to jot notes if you have questions. This way,
Great
you
idea.
don't want to miss something. That notebook is always there. You leave it right there, no matter who is in the room with you. You're able to take notes. And there's
so much that they go over with you that it's overwhelming.
It's very overwhelming.
That's someone there right. with you to hear the doctor, but so often when they come in, you're not there.
And I think about how many times that like we tried to relay messages, and by the time Amy would come up to the room, I was like, what did that doctor say?
Exactly.
But luckily I was writing it down, as they were going over it, so I could be like, oh, that's what he said, so
that's
that
a great idea.
Everything is in there to really try to either pass time, to help kind of keep your mind off of things, to journal, to keep yourself organized. Like I said, it was really built around experience and feedback.
Sure, no question. I really like the idea that people that they may have a very close relative lives in Wisconsin suffering with cancer, and they can contact you and have a gift bag sent.
Yep. And
that's a wonderful feature.
And that's, that was always kind of the most important thing to me, was that it's like I want to reach as many local as possible, but the idea is we want to spread as far as possible. Dad has been encompassing this idea of paying it forward for as long as I can remember. I mean,
he has.
I don't know. Have you ever seen the big Pay It Forward poster that we have hanging? Yep. So, years and years and years ago, when that movie first came out, he obviously fell in love with that message and the idea of, one person can help 3 people. And if those 3 people help 3 people, and how quickly, that really does spread, and that class that he spoke to, I believe it was Bacon. I think it was Bacon School that he spoke to. They actually went to the movie theater and got the movie poster. And the movie poster hung in our house for the longest time, and now still hangs in the house, is now in my dining room. So it truly is, a daily reminder of, this is what we are doing. We are trying to pay it forward to as many people as possible in any capacity that we can.
Well, once again, if you're listening to this program and you're not touched by what they're doing, I can't imagine, because it's just a wonderful program, wonderful project. I salute you, your sister, your whole family for what you're doing. As I said in the beginning, how much I respected Tim as an athlete, and really as a player. I have great stories with him, but another time. But he just encompasses everything you're talking about. Time for a break. We'll be back with McKenzie Summers right after this.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community. Local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
C&H Disposal Service has provided customers with the best customer service possible since 1981. C&H Disposal Service provides trash removal, dumpster rentals, septic cleaning, repair and installation, septic system certifications, portable restroom rentals, and demolition. With great customer service and competitive pricing, C&H Disposal Service has you covered at the home and on the job. C&H Disposal Service. Stick with the best.
Many people treat their health like a game. With the Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Our mental health services focus on the emotions and behaviors that affect your overall well-being and features psychiatric, counseling, and addiction services, including our exclusive Fresh Start program, designed to help combat the opioid epidemic in our communities, plus all the other specialties you expect from Complete Care. Level up your health with us. The Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great health care for everyone.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community. Local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
Hello, my name is Craig Atkinson, and I am president of the Millville Thunderbolt Club. The mission of the Thunderbolt Club is to enhance the athletic experience of Millville High School student athletes. We provide a myriad of services for these athletes, including end-of-year recognition banquets for all teams, stipends for teams and individual athletes, college scholarships of $35,000 per year, meals for special events, as well as hosting the Mike Trout Millville Thunderbolt Club Golf Tournament and the Millville Sports Hall of Fame. Please visit our website at millvillethunderboltclub.com for additional information.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey, hosted by Jim Quinn, who's not here, so I have to substitute, and I am so glad to have this opportunity to talk about the Big Dog Project with McKenzie Summers. What they're doing is absolutely phenomenal. I just told her off air I'm so proud of her, what she's doing. Being a cancer patient myself, I understand all the aspects and how difficult it is for you to put this project together, and it's growing. Yeah. It's growing, and it's effective, and I'm sure you get many people thanking you for what you're doing, and that in itself makes it rewarding.
It is, and it's nice in the sense of it's people that I don't even realize, because people will ask me for a bag and they don't tell me who it's going to. Like, I have no idea. To me, it doesn't matter who it's going to. You need a bag, it's yours. Just let me know when you want to pick it up, right? And then other random people will just be like, "Thank you," and I'm like, I'm thinking, for what? But then I kind of realize, what it was from, and I'm like thinking, you don't have to thank me. That's really not what it's about. It's,
but no,
it is, again, it's that connection and, being able to find that community spirit again and really seeing everybody come together. It's so heartwarming, to see a community rally. And I mean, we've seen this community rally so many times, even recently, how much this community rallies and how much, this community cares for one another. That's the one thing I have to say that makes me just love Millville and love this area so much is, we care about our people regardless of what else is going on. We show up for one another when we're in need. And, this is one of those ways I've seen this community show up time and time and time again.
Well, big challenge out there to you listeners. How about showing up here and helping the Big Dog Project? I know that the Big Dog would be very proud of you, even if you don't know him. You know that his heart was Millville.
Yeah.
He was Millville through and through, and anything he could do to help the community, to help those in need, he was right there.
Yeah.
And now you've picked up the mantle, you and Amy and your family, and all the volunteers that are working. So, get on that website and see how you can help put a bag together, make a donation to a scholarship, help in any way you can, because it's very worthwhile. So tell us a little bit about the wish list.
So the wish list is so it's an Amazon wish list. This way it makes it very easy for everyone to go ahead and shop. There's no guesswork, but here's the other great thing is if you don't want to shop the wish list, if you see items on that wish list, as long as it's a similar item, journals, notebooks, coloring books, coloring pencils, self-care, all of that is welcome. The wish list is kind of more of like that suggested guideline, to help us kind of build this. But, you'll see every bag is unique. Every bag is completely different. And that's the other thing that makes it so special. They're not just these like manufacturer commercial, care packages. They quite literally are put together by volunteers with donations by volunteers. I mean, we have done previous years where we've gone into schools and done donation drives and watching, we did a donation drive at my daughter's daycare, our first year. And I mean, seeing the little stuffies that were brought in and, it was just so heartwarming to, know that those preschoolers were going and shopping and buying things for these bags.
Forward.
Really just trying to start it young. So any new items are completely welcome. It doesn't have to be off of that specific wish list, but we did build it to make it easy, for everyone to shop. So it's right on there. You can scan that QR code that we've been flashing all day, or you can go right to the website as well. On that homepage, there is a button that will take you directly to the wish list as well.
Oh, wow. You can't make it any easier than that. That's pretty easy. Hopefully, that. Now, when you pack the bag, I had this question I meant to ask you. Do you pack them with some different needs that might like children's bags?
Yep. So we do. So what we do is we lay everything out at the Thunderbolt Club. Things are organized, and this year will be even more organized because every year we're getting better. So like this year, I actually will have like things listed out of specifically how many notebooks, how many pens, how many this that will go into everything. Our self-care goes into individual bags to keep it all organized. Our pens, our pencils, pencil sharpeners go into bags to keep it all organized. So then our volunteers can quickly put them into bags. But then we'll have pediatric ones, we will have adult ones. And this year, I'm so excited. We are also adding the introduction of completely pink bags for breast cancer. So we have pink metallic bags that we're getting. All of the insert bags are pink, as well as pink blankets. And then we have like specific like breast cancer coloring books. So this year we do have that introduction. So we'll have adult bags, pediatric bags, and breast cancer bags this year. And we are going to continue to grow and, look to have a little bit of those different customizations, put in to really kind of cater
what are some of the other
needs.
items?
So some of the other items. So in the bag itself, in the self-care bag, this was one of our new additions this year as well, is they are actually like self-heating eye masks. So you can kind of like for like relaxation. We have some like under eye masks again. And then this was our undated planner. So this way, if you have any like your treatments that you need to write down or even like notes and things for your doctor, we have that. We also have, it's over here, just like a regular like journal. And we do typically try to include multiple journals in there, different size notebooks, again, for different notes, whether it's medical notes, mental health journaling, doodling, just trying to pass time, whatever it may be.
That is such a great idea.
Yeah, and we also always include, there'll be like coloring books and activity books. We always include like fidgets as well. And all of the fidgets are always different within the book. So like this one has like a little like fidget ring, little pop-it, again, little worry stone.
Right.
So again, just all different things to really kind of help you pass the time, whether it's anxiety, just nervous energy, whatever it may be. We're really trying to get all of that different,
You're up there a long time getting treatment. And
got to pass a lot of hours and,
yes.
do a lot of different things. So
and keeping that journal, as I reflect back, my wife would come up to visit, and what did the doctor say?
Yeah, exactly.
Try to remember, and what was the doctor's name?
Or or it could be that if she has to leave and she has a question for the doctor, and making sure, like, there were so many times that I would like literally just hand the doctor the notebook and be like, answer my questions, please, and they were so nice about it, but because they knew that we were always in and out, and it was always different people, and between my mom, my sister, me, my aunt, my cousins, like there was always so many of us, and it was good, but we needed to have a way of clear communication, which was also so important, and people, I think, forget about when they're going through that, because you're so overwhelmed with everything else going on. And especially if it's new, like for us, it was 3 weeks. It was a whirlwind,
Yes.
It was over before it barely even started. And, we were constantly just going and going and going. And if it wasn't for that notebook to keep us organized, to keep us grounded,
That's such a great idea.
And that was really, I needed to make sure that we had plenty of those, for these bags. So this way, again, it can also be your mental health. It can be, if you are, doing scripture, if you're doing just regular journaling, whatever it is that brings you comfort,
right.
This is there to help you support, that journey.
Exactly. And what are the items up here?
So some of the other items I have over here. So we have our brand new water bottle that we had brought in for this year, brand new design. We had regular cups in the past, and Joey Dorella always struggled to get them apart. So we took his feedback and made sure that this year, new design, we include color pencils, as well as some card games. And then this one right here. So this one is like a special item. It doesn't make it into many bags, just because it is a little bit more on the pricey side, but it's a damn it doll. So it's meant to kind of like take your anxiety out or like anger out and like just whack it, and like you can like hit it against things.
See, I had one of those, but it was an official. And I would bang the official.
And that's essentially, exactly what it is. Like it, it literally says, whenever things don't go so well and you want to hit the wall and yell, here's a little damn it doll that you just can't do without. Just grasp it firmly by the legs and find a place to slam it as you whack the stuffing yell. And so it is a fun thing that we do try to include, when we can. But again, like things are meant to be lighthearted, a little bit funny, a little bit, comedic.
Sure.
So again, taking such a very serious topic, a very hard topic for so many, especially depending on what the diagnosis is, it's not pretty for a lot. Some people are very lucky and, can kind of come out unscathed. But, for a lot of people, it's a battle. It's a battle every day. And, I was prepared to do that battle with my dad, and, didn't get that chance. But, this is my opportunity, to do that and to support as many people, during that battle, as we can.
Well, every bag that a person receives, I guarantee you, they're appreciative.
Yeah. I sure hope so anyway. I sure hope so. Because a lot of love has gone into it.
Yep. You could tell that. I mean, if I kind of had an idea, but then I didn't.
Yeah.
And it's been like very informational for me to understand exactly what you're doing and how you're doing it. You're doing a remarkable job. And again, I encourage everybody out there in some small way. Every little bit helps, as McKenzie said. If you're available that day, they can use all the help they can get. If not, you can contribute in a number of ways, and the scan will get you there. And it's I think very user friendly.
Yes, I try to make it user friendly. And listen, you guys, I am human. I am doing it pretty much all by myself over there. So if you guys see something that I don't see, please feel free to reach out. Let me know, because that's the other thing, is this really is, a community project. We're working all together, to make this thing happen.
Right. There may be something that someone thinks about that has a family member, someone going through it, says, what would be really neat? Now, I can't think of something off the top of my head, but if they do, McKenzie would welcome that.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you have received a bag and you have feedback, I'd love to hear from you. It's one of those things that, you're not going to hurt my feelings, if you tell me that, something wasn't working in a bag, because again, everybody's journey is a little bit different. And I really want to make sure that we are fine tuning these bags and really making them as comforting as possible for as many patients as possible. And, like we were saying earlier, it doesn't have to necessarily be just cancer. You know, the idea is that we want to help as many people as possible. We want to touch as many people as possible. You know, these are medical care packages, right? You know, it was stemmed around cancer because that's where the idea came from. But in reality, if you are having, you know, any type of illness, that you're having a treatment, a long-term stay, you know, your family, you know, again, this could be patient to a caretaker type gift as well. You know, it doesn't have to be caretaker to patient. Like, there's so many different ways that this bag can benefit, you know, a family. So, like, again, it's this complex, wonderful, you know, this complex, wonderful project, you know, inspired by a complex and wonderful man, you know.
Yep, no question. And excuse me, you struck a chord there because, you know, as a caregiver, if you're thinking of, you know, of something that would be worthwhile in the bag, you too can, you know, offer your suggestions
Absolutely.
to McKenzie and your help. But it's just so important seeing the bouts that I've had and been in the hospital, seeing some of these people again that have no one to really, you know, spend time with them, talk to them, encourage them. And even with that, you can't be there 24 hours. So there's a lot of dead time that you're up there alone and you're trying to play go fish or do something to keep your mind off the treatments. And some treatments are a lot more difficult than others. I haven't experienced that, thank goodness, a real difficult treatment. But whatever you can do to benefit the Big Dog Project would be much appreciated by not only McKenzie, the whole group that has bought into this. It was a great idea. And there's no doubt that as you play it forward, year after year, it's going to continue to grow into things, you know, things even bigger. There it is again, how you can donate. Scan that, and you can become a contributor to a great cause. Again, in the memory of Tim Big Dog Shannon, who exemplified all of this, and now he played it forward to his family and his daughters that are so involved with this. So before we wrap it up, McKenzie, anything else that you can think of that you would like to say or reach out to the
really,
the millions that are listening?
Really, I just want to continue to say thank you to everyone that has already donated, has supported, has volunteered. I can never say thank you enough for all of the support. I mean, you guys have supported us literally since day one of announcing this, you know, 3 years ago. And it's just been so wonderful. This would not be possible without you guys. I mean, I'm the idea, but it's nothing without you. You know, I'm just an idea. That's all I am, you know, without you guys. And, you know, you have supported me, you've supported my family, you've supported my dad. And in turn, you're supporting our community, you're supporting our state, and supporting people all over, you know, the country in a way. So it's so wonderful, and it just makes my heart so happy to know that we are, you know, we're doing good, and, you know, little old Millville, you know, can continue, you know, continue to touch lives and, you know, do so good. And, you know, we'll continue to put Millville on the map for 1,000,003 different reasons, you know.
Exactly right. So many people outside of Millville will make comments to me, whether it be about the Thunderbolt Club and all the good they do, or things like this project, which is incredible, and how much good they're doing. Doesn't happen in every community, unfortunately.
No, it doesn't.
The idea is to try to get it to that point where other people will catch on and say, hey, I can do something too.
Right.
And that's what you're doing. And I can't say enough good things about you and your project.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Just wonderful what you're doing. Dad's very proud up there, I know.
Sure
no
hope
doubt
so.
about it.
Sure hope
As
so.
your whole family is, and really all of Millville should be, because we know what Big Dog meant to all of us, you know?
Yeah. I mean, he meant so much to so many people, and, you know, and again, like, because of this project, so many people have, like I said, have reconnected, and I've gotten to hear so many stories that I've never heard. And, you know, I feel like I know my dad better now than I ever did. You know, again, these were gifts that we were given that we would not have had otherwise. You know, that's, you know, the biggest thing that I have learned on this journey is, you know, we lost him too soon, but he left us so many great gifts that will allow him to live so much longer than, whatever his life could have given him.
And this is definitely one of them, the fact that you're so engaged, you and your family, in this project of giving back. This is Tim.
Yeah.
This is exactly what he would be doing.
Yeah.
What he has done in the past for so many. So, anything else before I wrap it up?
I think that's it. Come out on the 17th. Come see us at the Thunderbolt Club, 4 to 6. Visit www.thebigdogproject.com. Again, give us a like on Facebook. We're on Facebook. We're a very small page, just started this year there, but give us a like. That way you are up to date on everything happening Big Dog Project, because you will see us out a lot more this year in the community, and hopefully so much more in the years to come.
And the idea, again, of spreading the word and the social media, which us old people aren't that familiar with. So I'm talking to Craig Atkinson last night, and Patty's in the background. I said, I got to find out more about this. Go to the Facebook page. So I did, and I familiarized myself with all the things that you're talking about, most of the things you're talking about, but you added certainly a lot to that. But go to the Facebook page for sure, learn a little bit more about it, and scan that and donate any way you can. It's a wonderful project helping a lot of people. Well, thank you, McKenzie, for coming and sharing your family with us. I'm sure they're anxious to get
Thank you for being here with me tonight and helping me spread the word.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you, everyone. This is Tony Surace signing off for Around South Jersey.
This has been a QBC television production in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22 and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.